So, what if I told you that pretty much everything you think you know about productivity is a total lie? Not that you personally are unproductive, but that the entire idea of productivity that drives our world today is, well, fundamentally broken. Today, we're going to unpack Cal Newport's concept of slow productivity and hopefully discover a much more human way to work. Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement, right? But it's where we have to start. See, the idea of productivity that we all live by, counting the hours we work, the tasks we check off, it wasn't designed for us. It's a 100-year-old idea from the Industrial Revolution, made to get the most out of factory machines. But here's the problem. Creative work, knowledge work, it's not about making widgets faster. It's about insight and focus and making connections, stuff you just can't measure with a stopwatch. We're trying to apply factory rules to our minds, and it's no wonder we're all burning out.
I mean, that's exactly it, isn't it? We're running our minds on this ancient, clunky software, and then we're shocked when we just completely crash. But it wasn't always like this. And what's really fascinating is if you look back at some of history's greatest minds, we're talking about people like Einstein, Darwin, Maya Angelou. None of them were busy in the way we think of it. They were slow. They understood a secret that we've completely forgotten in all the noise of hustle culture.
Okay, so this leads us straight into the big problem we all face, the illusion of busyness. We live in this world where just looking busy has somehow become more important than actually being valuable. You know the feeling, that constant pressure to have a calendar that's packed, to be seen answering emails at 10 p.m. We're terrified of empty space in our day because we think it means we're not important. And that fear, it pushes us right into a trap.
And this trap has a name. It's called pseudo-productivity. It's all that stuff we do that makes us feel productive, but doesn't actually move the needle on our most important work. Think about it. It's that constant email checking, sitting in meetings that go nowhere, or just rearranging your to-do list for the 10th time. It gives you the feeling of making progress without any of the real substance.
Okay, this example just nails the difference perfectly. Imagine two writers. You've got one who's always up and about, getting coffee, has 20 tabs open, answers every single notification. They look incredibly busy. Then you have another writer who just sits there, focused on one document for 2 solid hours. At the end of the day, the first writer answered 50 emails. The second one, they wrote an entire chapter of their book. So let me ask you, who really got something done? And that's the absolute heart of it. The modern workplace has basically tricked us into playing a game of volume. How many emails can you answer? How many tasks can you check off? But that's a game you can never, ever win, because there will always be more tasks. Slow productivity is a rebellion against that. It says that doing 1 or 2 deeply meaningful things is so much more valuable than doing 100 tiny pointless ones. It's about changing the rules and starting to play a game of value instead.
Okay, so if we're all stuck in this trap, what's the escape plan, right? How do we break the cycle of feeling busy but getting nothing done and start creating real value without completely frying ourselves? Well, this is where Cal Newport's framework comes in.
The way out is built on 3 really foundational principles. Now, these aren't just little tips or life hacks. No, this is a fundamental shift in how you think about your work. It's about changing the very rules of the game you've been playing every single day.
And they're right here. First, do fewer things. Second, work at a natural pace. And third, obsess over quality. Sounds simple, but trust me, they're profound when you actually put them into practice. So let's break them down.
All right, principle number 1, do fewer things. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds completely backward, right? We're taught more is always better, but our brains just aren't built for that. When we try to do 10 things at once, we end up doing all of them kind of badly. Think of a great chef. They don't have a menu with 100 items. No, they master a few amazing dishes. Your to-do list should be like that fine dining menu, not an all-you-can-eat buffet where everything's just okay. And yeah, this means learning to say no, which is hard, but it's crucial for protecting your energy for what really counts.
Okay, number 2, work at a natural pace. We're all expected to be on 24/7, sprinting from one thing to the next. But our brain isn't a computer. It's an organism. It has rhythms. It has seasons of high energy and seasons of low energy. A farmer doesn't yell at a seed to grow faster, right? They respect the seasons. This isn't about being lazy. It's about being sustainable. It's about pacing yourself for the long haul, like a marathon runner, so you can actually finish the race strong.
And that brings us to the third and maybe the most important principle: obsess over quality. Because in the long run, nobody is going to remember you for how many emails you answered. They will remember you for the excellence of the things you created. Let's be real. Would you rather go to a restaurant with a massive menu where everything's just okay, or one with just 5 perfect dishes that are the talk of the town. Quality is what builds your reputation. It's what builds a legacy. And that kind of quality, it takes time.
So here's the magic. When you actually put these 3 principles together, something incredible starts to happen. It stops being just a productivity technique, and it becomes a shift in your entire identity. You stop being a laborer, and you start becoming a craftsman.
This is the radical idea at the very heart of that craftsman mindset. Hustle culture screams at us to build our entire lives around work, right? If work needs you on a weekend, you cancel your plans. Slow productivity flips that whole script upside down. It says, nope, first, you define what a good life looks like for you. Time with family, hobbies, rest. You build that container for your life first. And then you fit your best, most important work into the time that's left.
And this chart, man, it just lays it all out so clearly. The digital laborer, they're like a worker on an assembly line, just doing one small, disconnected task after another. Their only goal is to clear that to-do list. But the modern craftsmen, they think totally differently. They see the whole project. They don't just complete tasks, they ask, what am I building here? What value am I actually creating? Their work becomes a source of genuine pride.
I absolutely love this phrase, the revenge of the craftsman. It's about taking back the soul and the purpose that got lost when we all became obsessed with just being efficient. It's a way to bring meaning back into what we do every day and to feel a real connection to our work that goes way beyond just getting a paycheck.
So when you get right down to it, this isn't just about a new productivity system, you know? It's about joining a quiet rebellion. It's about making a conscious choice to live and work in a way that's different from almost everyone around you. And this rebellion, it's really built on a handful of simple, powerful truths. It's a declaration that we are human beings, not computers. That our real value isn't measured by how many tasks we can churn through in an hour, but by the depth and the quality of our work. It's a reminder that true productivity isn't a packed schedule. It's the excellence of what we finish. And honestly, it's just a more peaceful, more sustainable, and way more meaningful way to live.
But look, I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't easy. It's a choice you have to actively make every single day. Just imagine leaving the office at 5 p.m. when everyone else is still there, looking busy. Your first instinct is probably guilt, right? You feel lazy. But slow productivity asks you to reframe that. You're not being lazy, you are being strategic. You're choosing to rest and recharge so that tomorrow you can come back and do the kind of focused, high-quality work that actually matters.
So, in the end, it really all boils down to one simple choice. A choice that only you can make. Are you going to keep playing that impossible game of volume, chasing an endless to-do list in a race that only ends in burnout? Or are you going to choose to play the long game, a game of value, of meaning, and of lasting impact? The choice is yours.